Yeah.
What was the difference tonight?
You never underestimate your opponent. You never underestimate your opponent. And credit to him and his team.
Where's the talk?
Do you think you underestimate?
It's not a press conference.
You know,
Let's go.
tonight was nice, but Joshua, one more question. And tomorrow, people are going to be saying all the things that they said after your previous defeats.
We can't
How
worry
do you
about
handle
what people
that?
say. It's about how you see yourself.
When a YouTuber decides to become a boxer, most people don't take him seriously. But when that same person keeps winning fights and then announces a matchup against Anthony Joshua, many fans think is completely out of his depth. This time, however, things feel different. A new training video from Jake Paul's camp has everyone talking. Even Anthony Joshua didn't brush it off. Instead of laughing, he appeared to take notice because Jake wasn't throwing random punches. His movement looked sharper, his combinations were more controlled, and his approach seemed carefully planned. Now boxing fans are asking one big question. Has Jake Paul improved enough to make this fight more competitive than expected?
What do you think about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua?
I think Jake Paul got a chance.
Bro? You dead ass? Bro, don't lie, bro. This is, no, you're not serious, right? I know you're trolling.
I'm not.
You think, what did he have a chance with?
Bro, he box.
He's getting knocked out, bro. Come on.
You really think so?
Yeah, you gotta keep it 100, bro. Anthony Joshua.
So how much money?
You know how big that dude is?
How much?
I heard word that he's getting beat up in sparring by these heavyweights. And these are not even Anthony Joshua, bro. But don't, shit, I'm leaving.
Let's take a closer look at why this training footage has created so much discussion. At first, it seems like a normal heavy bag workout, but experienced boxing fans quickly noticed something different. Jake wasn't just throwing hard punches. His combinations looked organized and purposeful. Many even pointed out that the patterns were similar to the techniques that have troubled Anthony Joshua in previous fights. It suggests that Jake isn't simply training harder. He's studying Joshua's weaknesses and building a strategy around them.
You really want Anthony Joshua?
Not only do I want him, but we're fighting next year.
Oh my God. But you saw him against Francis Ngannou, right?
Yeah, he's a beast. I want something that wakes me up. I want to wake up and be like, oh man, my life's on the line. That type of shit excites me, bro. I need that challenge. I need that crazy, badass, we're going to War 300 Spartan shit. It's in my soul. It's in my DNA. And so I think that fight will wake me the up.
Anthony Joshua is one of the most accomplished heavyweights of his generation. He's an Olympic gold medalist, a former unified world champion, and one of the most powerful athletes in boxing. But even great fighters have weaknesses. Joshua suffered defeats against Andy Ruiz Jr. and Alexander Usyk, both of whom relied on smart movement, timing, and accuracy rather than size alone. It appears Jake Paul is trying to learn from those performances and apply some of the same ideas.
100%. I think it's watching his Dubois fight, watching the Ruiz fight, even watching the Usyk fight. And when you look at it, he's lost to guys who are smaller than him. I think it's his, it's his weakness, it's his kryptonite, is the faster guys who don't get hit by his big punches.
What is it about this version of Joshua that you feel you can exploit, and what kind of interests you the most about this version of Joshua?
I mean, he's an amazing fighter, one of the best heavyweights ever. I just think with speed and footwork and being in a rhythm, I don't think he can handle that, and he doesn't like that because he is a little bit stiff. He does rely on his power. Obviously, you get hit by one of his shots, you're cooked, but I believe I'll be able to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Should you beat, obviously, this former world champion, a first-bound Hall of Famer for many, is the next step a world title shot?
Yeah, I mean, I think I should be getting the World Heavyweight Championship belt for this fight. But, yeah, that's always been the goal, is to become world champion. I think that would be the next step.
Those heavy bag combinations weren't simply designed to show power. They looked focused on closing the distance, attacking the body, and creating angles before Joshua could respond. That's a level of planning you don't normally see from crossover fighters. Whether it will work inside the ring is another question. But one thing is clear, Jake Paul is taking this challenge far more seriously than many people expected.
I feel that Jake Paul could potentially knock out Anthony Joshua. I'm just saying it. I think Jake can knock him out. Okay, I'm going to go on record right now. Okay?
Wow.
I think Anthony Joshua has been knocked out by some weird-ass shots before. Andy Ruiz, Dubois knocked him out with a short overhand right? Yep. Jake Paul can land one of those shots. Boxing is, a sport where everybody's got a puncher's chance. That's why we're all watching, right? Yeah, he can destroy Jake Paul, but I don't see that happen. I think he's going to try to prove a point.
Dude, I 100% agree with you. I mean, if Anthony Joshua and Jake go stand in the middle and trade, like Jake has serious power.
I feel Jake Paul could win this fight more than he could against Gervonta Davis.
Anthony Joshua has spent years competing against elite fighters and knows exactly what high-level preparation looks like. That's why Jake Paul's latest training footage caught people's attention. It wasn't about throwing flashy punches for social media. Every combination looked purposeful and designed with a specific strategy in mind. When a fighter starts training around your weaknesses instead of chasing highlights, it's something you can't ignore.
AJ's got to show Jake Paul the quit that is in him. And he's got to respect Jake Paul, which is going to be really, really hard going in there, having to respect somebody you don't respect as being on your level. You might respect him as a businessman outside the ring, but as being on his level in the ring. AJ knocks him out. Even Jake Paul said, well, what do you expect? He has got screw loose and he can box. I think he's a domestic level fighter. And I don't mean top domestic level, which means I don't think he'd be British champion if he was here in the UK.
Jake Paul isn't trying to overpower Anthony Joshua because he knows it would be a losing strategy. Instead, everything points toward a smarter approach, closing the distance, attacking the body, disrupting Joshua's rhythm, and forcing exchanges at close range. It's a game plan similar to the one Alexander Usyk used successfully. If Jake wants to stay competitive, technique will matter far more than strength.
You're very strong guy, listen. You're very strong. I don't care about strong, I have to have skills. Being strong doesn't win boxing. Okay. Skills win boxing. Yeah, okay. You're not strong. How did you beat me? Let's do this. How? Because of skills. Let's do this. I had character. Okay. Determination.
Jake seems to understand one important thing about Anthony Joshua. AJ performs at his best when he controls the distance, works behind his jab, and keeps the pace under control. But whenever that rhythm is interrupted, the fight becomes much more difficult for him. Breaking that rhythm could be one of Jake's biggest goals on fight night.
Do you think he can win, Jake Paul?
I think it's a possibility. No one is backing Jake Paul currently. You've seen him in the ring. You can see that he's got some knockout power. And I also believe people don't look at Joshua's last few fights. And I don't think it's going to be as big of a landslide as people feel. I feel like there's an overhand right that could easily land. And I wouldn't predict that Joshua's chin can last that. The problem is that all of the pressure's on Joshua at the moment. So Jake Paul, if he gets knocked out in 12 seconds, he should get knocked out. The problem is as soon as Joshua starts taking damage, all of a sudden he's thinking, the world is watching me, I'm a professional fighter, and I'm getting beat off a YouTuber. All of the pressure is in Joshua, and that's a lot that can weigh on a man. You can't deny that Jake Paul has power. I think it's one of his only attributes. I think he's a very poor boxer, but what he does have is a weird technique where you don't know what
he's got power. How do we know he's got power?
He's knocked people out. Joshua has all of the world looking at him thinking you should walk him over. If it gets 2 rounds, 3 rounds inside, I think Joshua loses.
There's another interesting side to this story, and it involves the mental battle outside the ring. During a recent live stream with Aiden Ross, Jake Paul casually revealed that he picked up a black eye while sparring a heavyweight who wasn't even close to Joshua's level. At first, that made it seem like Jake was struggling in training. But some fans believe it could also be a clever way to lower expectations and make Anthony Joshua believe the fight will be easier than it actually is.
Wait, is your eye okay? How'd that happen? Who are you sparring?
I'm sparring a bunch of world champion heavyweights. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you weighing right now?
I'm like 215.
What's AJ's weight? 220?
He'll be like 250 in the ring.
Huh? 250?
Yeah.
Jake, 250 pounds is going to fight at.
Yeah. It's definitely a pretty wild fight, my brother.
Jake may have revealed that sparring injury for a reason. By showing a black eye, he could be making people believe he's struggling before the fight even begins. If Anthony Joshua starts thinking this will be an easy night, Jake might gain a small mental advantage. Since he can't match Joshua's size and strength, creating doubt could become part of his overall strategy.
This is crazy. And this is someone that Dylan White wants to get in the ring with, Lawrence Okolie. I can't lie. If Lawrence Okolie is giving fighters like Jake Paul a black eye, just imagine what he's going to do to Dylan White, Moses the Tummer, or anyone who even steps in the ring with him. It's going to be peak. But secondly, on the other hand, Jake Paul, you know, he's taking the sufferings in sparring. You know what I mean? He's taking the beatings. He got the black eye from Okolie. So if he could go through this sort of pain from Okolie, I think he can take all the punches from Anthony Joshua, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I really do feel like Jake Paul can cause an upset next week. Guys, next week is around the corner. And don't say I didn't tell you, Jake Paul's going to cause the biggest upset in the whole world. Be ready.
This is where fans need to stay realistic. Jake Paul can study Andy Ruiz and Alexander Usyk as much as he wants, but copying their game plan is much easier than making it work. Throwing the right combinations in training is one thing, but landing them against Anthony Joshua while he's firing back is a completely different challenge.
AJ's going in there to destroy him. Sometimes people want to call him a professional boxer. When it suits them, they want to call him a YouTuber. The reality is, he is a professional boxer. He's nowhere near world class, and he's well out of his depth against Anthony Joshua. This is a straightforward bank job, and it's just going to allow AJ to gel with his new team. The profile's fantastic, the money's great, and then normal business will be resumed in 2026.
The story becomes even more interesting when you look at Joshua's preparation. He's not just watching Jake's training videos, he's working on the exact style Jake appears to be studying. Training alongside Alexander Usyk gives Joshua valuable experience against the same movement, angles, and tactics that Jake is trying to learn.
Why do you want to help Anthony Joshua?
Why Anthony Joshua? I think it's answer only for God, because Anthony very have, I think, education, like a kind of guy. We speak with Anthony, message. Now we speak on the phone, not Instagram, but I have a number, Anthony have number. For example, we drive in a car, they call me, hey champ, hello, how are you, blah, 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 blah. We joke, and hey, good luck training, because I see this guy in the gym. My team, hey, Alex, hello, hey brother. Good training. It's guy. I like this guy because this is guy smart. I think this guy have very big heart. And
very well boxing. Yes, people think you will make him fight like you.
If Jake's plan is inspired by fighters like Ruiz and Usyk, Joshua already has first-hand experience with that style. In fact, his training with a very fighter who mastered it. That gives AJ another advantage and makes Jake's task even more difficult.
Couple months now? Couple months. In the darkness, in secret. No, it's not a secret. Are you sparring with Usyk? No, I'm not sparring with Usyk. Usyk's, he's training somewhere else. He's been in camp, but he's in and out now. Okay. So right now he's training somewhere else.
It's great. I mean, obviously, he's training with the best in the world. He's one of the best heavyweights in the world. We expect nothing less. It's great. And I want the best version of Anthony Joshua on December 19th. And it's going to be the best version of Jake Paul that you've seen, and we'll see who's better.
Many believe Joshua's current training camp is about much more than Jake Paul. His long-term goal is still a massive showdown with Tyson Fury. Working alongside Usyk isn't just preparation for one fight. It's part of improving every aspect of his game. Jake may be the next opponent, but Joshua is preparing with a much bigger picture in mind.
AJ's always plotting his next move. I believe him teaming up with Usyk is more than him just training with the best. It's him targeting Fury. Who better to learn from than the team that beat him twice, killed two birds with one stone? The same reason he was training with Ben Davison, Tyson's former trainer, to get inside knowledge. And yes, the partnership did not work, but I'm pretty sure he would have picked up some valuable info on Tyson. Will it be enough? I'm not sure, because AJ needs to be mentally right. But I've always said, stylistically, AJ's all wrong for Fury. If Team Usyk can bring out AJ's strengths, get him mentally right, the attacking version of AJ, my mind's not changed. He's a nightmare for Tyson Fury. I also think that AJ is better suited to Usyk's team because they're all about boxing's fundamentals in solid basics. And when I say that, I mean to the highest degree.
Even so, Jake's latest training footage shouldn't be ignored. It doesn't prove he'll beat Anthony Joshua, but it does show how seriously he is taking this opportunity. Instead of relying on hype or confidence alone, Jake appears focused on improving his skills and preparing for one of the toughest fights of his career.
Know my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know
he just got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill, and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends, all this shit, but I want to fight you.
No matter how much Jake improves, this remains an extremely dangerous matchup. Anthony Joshua isn't a retired athlete or crossover celebrity. He's an active heavyweight with proven knockout power. One mistake inside the ring could completely change the outcome of the fight.
He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him. Very upset that this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and, a couple other guys that were legit boxers. That's it. Like everyone else he's fought Ben Askren, who's really a wrestler. He fought Tyron Woodley, who was an elite MMA fighter, but, not an elite boxer. He fought Nate Robinson, who was a basketball player. At least he's fought these guys. He fought Anderson Silva, and he dropped Anderson Silva, and Anderson Silva was a really good striker, but also in his 40s, different time. It's, not the same guy he used to be. This is a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua. This is a terrifying human being. Terrifying. Again, a guy who survived Usyk twice. You saw what Usyk did to Dubois? You see Usyk take out Dubois? Did you see that? I mean, that's the Usyk you're talking about. There's an Usyk that rocked Tyson Fury, who's fucking 6'9".
So Jake Paul's 6'1" versus 6'6" Anthony Joshua. Jake weighed in for the Tyson fight at 199. Joshua against Ngannou was 252.
That's exactly why so many fighters and analysts continue to question this matchup. Their concern isn't about Jake's dedication or work ethic. It's about the reality of heavyweight boxing, where a single punch can decide everything. The gap in size, power, and experience is what makes this fight such a serious risk.
But AJ, by knockout, brutal knockout, Nakisa is making a big mistake putting Jake Paul in a fight like this because he's gonna want to see him get hurt. I mean, these guys are going for the money, where really, he has a life after boxing as well. Let's hope he comes out the ring in one piece.
Could I ask you individually, why are they doing this? So start with AJ. Why is he doing this?
AJ, if I was AJ, I'd do the same thing, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a YouTuber, and why not? I mean, getting paid millions and millions of pounds. And why is Jake doing? Jake's just doing it for probably the fan following. Maybe he wants to get the boxing audience. But look, who knows? I mean, anything can happen in boxing. One punch can change the fight, but I just don't think he has that one punch to change the fight. It's just does Jake Paul.
Let's be honest for a moment. Most people wouldn't even consider stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua, but Jake Paul willingly accepted the challenge. That doesn't mean he'll win, and it doesn't guarantee it's the right decision, but it does show he's not avoiding tough opponents. He could have continued facing easier names, yet is choosing one of the biggest tests in boxing. Whether people support him or not, that level of confidence deserves recognition.
Do you think you're going to knock him out? Yeah, 100%. I see holes in his game of where I can land a big shot. Okay. 100%. It's going to be a very, 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 very tough fight.
Do you think this is your hardest opponent?
Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I'm just outgunned in every category.
Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, has no interest in turning this into a long, entertaining fight. His goal is simple: finish the job as quickly as possible. From everything we've seen, AJ is preparing to come forward from the opening bell and look for a knockout before Jake has a chance to settle into the fight.
I'm going to break his face, I'm going to break his body up, I'm going to stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it. And
Jake Paul's latest training footage grabbed everyone's attention because it looked focused and well-planned rather than flashy. His combinations appeared carefully designed, and many fans noticed similarities to the tactics that have troubled Anthony Joshua in previous fights. It showed preparation, discipline, and a clear strategy instead of just showing off the talent. But boxing is about much more than having the right game plan. Success depends on executing that strategy under real pressure. Fighters like Andy Ruiz and Alexander Usyk didn't just know what to do. They had the experience, timing, and composure to make it work against Joshua. Jake is still developing as a boxer, while Anthony Joshua continues to improve and adapt at the highest level.
So when you put those two entities together, and these are two entities that know how to market fights, then you're going to get a spectacle. And I feel like Jake Paul doesn't get enough credit. But even with that said, even if you credit his mental strength, even if you credit the fact that he takes it seriously, even if you credit the fact that he's got a great team behind him, and he does have a great team behind him, and even if you credit some of the victories he's had against legitimate fighters, maybe not legitimate boxers, but legitimate fighters, is he still a credible opponent for Anthony Joshua? That's a good question. This fight would be a big fight because they're both massive. They're both so big in not only the boxing world, but in the quote-unquote real world. Everyone generally knows who Anthony Joshua is. Everyone generally knows who Jake Paul is. So when you put those two entities together, and these are two entities that know how to market fights, then you're gonna get a spectacle. You're gonna get a situation that people might condemn, but they're still gonna watch. Obviously you'd have to put your money on Anthony Joshua, but you can't underestimate the mental strength of Jake Paul, because he's shown throughout his career, whether it's in the YouTube world or the boxing world, that he's a mentally very strong person.
This fight is far more than a social media event or a celebrity matchup. It's a genuine test between a fighter chasing respect and a former heavyweight champion protecting his reputation. Very soon, we'll find out whether Jake Paul's belief in himself is enough, or if Anthony Joshua reminds everyone why he's one of boxing's biggest names.
My brother is fighting Anthony Joshua. The experience difference, Anthony Joshua is a former heavyweight champion who's knocked out heavyweight champions. Quite the undertaking for Jake. What do you think is going to happen?
Expedition.
Oh, they're going to go on an expedition.
Is that a thing?
Exhibition.
Exhibition.
That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest boxing updates. Share your prediction in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.